Hello, my most amazing artists. I want to introduce you to the artist Charley Harper, who was born in 1922 and passed away in 2007. He is known for his artwork and illustrations in books. His artwork is often, and pretty much always, of animals. All different kinds of animals. He grew up on a farm, but he had no interest in working the farm. He wanted to paint all of the animals on the farm. So that is exactly what he did, and he grew up to be an artist and an illustrator. Growing up on his family farm, he had a different way of looking at nature and wildlife. He looked at those animals and he saw patterns, shapes, colors, textures, form, all of the different things that he simplified them down to in his pictures. As you can see, they are booming with life. They also are simplified into shapes you know. As you can see here, you see a lot of circles, lines, maybe rectangles, triangles. You probably recognize a lot of these things, and in fact, you can even make them, and that's what we are going to do today. We are focusing on, you guessed it, the fox. We are looking at Charley Harper's foxes and going to create our very own fox today. On your table today, you will have a guide on how to draw a fox. We're also going to draw together on the screen, so do not worry if you don't know how to draw a fox or you've never drawn a fox. It doesn't matter because I'm going to be here every step of the way. We're just going to practice and try our very best. You're going to have a big piece of paper. Make sure you write your name, class code, and flip it over as always. But today we're using something a little unusual. This is an ink marker. It has ink inside. In fact, enough ink to probably fill 100 pens up. So it's super important that you do not squeeze that ink bottle. Only use it like a marker. And do you squeeze your markers? No. So you'll see that all I have to do is untwist the cap, keep it on my table so I don't lose it, and I just have to draw with it. I'm simplifying this fox down into shapes, lines, and different things that you can make. We'll draw them together in just a few minutes. Now, I'm adding triangles for the ears, adding a little bit of a furry chest there, some legs or arms and paws, and of course the body and that bushy tail that foxes are known for. Don't worry about coloring anything in because we will be adding lots of color baby color next week when these are dry. Now keep in mind, ink is permanent. It does not wash out, so be extra careful about your hands, your clothes, and where you're putting your arms on your table today. Always keep the cap on when you're not using it. It's super important that you don't squeeze because look what happens even if you press down a little hard and then pick it up like this. It's going to drip, and when ink drips, it can make a big mess. We do not want to drip any ink or squeeze the bottle, or you'll not be able to use these ink markers again. They're a super special art supply that I usually don't let my younger students use, but I'm going to trust you today to use them. If you do have a mistake like that, think of it as a happy accident. What I went and did is I made that into a little paw on the other side. I made that same pattern on the other side. It doesn't matter about that ink drip. I'm just going to let it go. Same thing if you make any so-called mistakes today, you'll just turn them into happy accidents because you only get one piece of paper. You guessed it. So let's go ahead and get started, and don't forget you'll have that guide on your table, so if you would like to move ahead of me, or maybe I'm moving a little bit too fast for you, you're going to be able to look at that guide and work on your own too. But I do suggest you try to follow along with me because you only get one piece of paper and you need to work big. This ink marker makes you work very big. If you try to draw teeny tiny, you're going to end up with a big black blob on your paper. So, getting started, I wrote my name. I flipped it, and my class code, flipped it over. Then I untwist the top of my ink bottle, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty to close. I take it off, put it on my table, and I'm going to start near the tippy top. Go ahead and untwist your cap and draw a big letter U near the tippy top, but not so close that you wouldn't be able to fit the rest of the head. Go ahead and draw your letter U at the top. Next thing, I'm going to draw another arch the other way to connect it. It kind of looks like a lemon or maybe like a football. It's okay if yours looks different. Next, I'm drawing a curved line on each side towards the bottom middle. It's kind of like a curvy V. That's going to make the separation of the fur on my fox. Next, I'm going to draw a circle for the nose. I'm putting my nose kind of near the middle of where those lines meet, but if you would like to put yours closer to the bottom or higher up, that's up to you. This is your fox after all. Now you see me ghost drawing where I might put my eyes. I might put them above the lines, or I might put them below, or right in the middle. That's up to you and where you want your eyes on your fox to be. I do recommend that they're somewhere near that line that we made though. After that, I'm going to make 2 triangles up top for the ears. Foxes have pretty pointy ears pointing up towards the top of their head, kind of like a cat. After I've drawn my eyes and ears, I'm going to make a very curved V towards the bottom. If you want to make your V normal, coming from the chin of your fox or the head, going down towards the bottom, it could be straight lines, but I'm making mine curvy just to show that it's more of a bit fluffy fur there. After I draw that and take up quite a bit of my room, remember you're drawing big to fill your whole paper, then I'm going to draw 2 vertical lines on each side of my fox. My fox is symmetrical, meaning it's the same on both sides. It has one arm or paw on one side and then one on the other. So I'm finishing off whatever I do on one side to the other. Now I'm doing ghost drawing for the body. The body is going to go around the legs and around that fur there. You draw your lines more curvy, it just means your fox will be either bigger, or if you draw them closer to the body, it'll be smaller. Make sure to leave some room for that fluffy big tail that they're known for. That's kind of what separates it from looking more like a dog or a cat. They are known for their bushy tail. So I'm doing that with some curvy lines on either side. It could be on the left or the right, wherever you have more room, and a zigzag line to show where it'll separate from the color. The tip of the tail is usually white. The last thing I'm going to do is draw a line right near where it's sitting. Horizontal line, get it? Horizon line, horizontal, is where the sky meets the land or the ground where it's sitting. Be sure to cap your ink marker very tightly so it doesn't spill. We will not be using the sink today, so make sure to use your art wipes for your hands, clean up your area, and put these on the drying rack if they are still wet. Make sure to carry them flat like a pizza so you don't get any drippy ink. We do not want any ink on your clothes, on your shoes, on the table, on the carpet. You get the point. Have an awesome time today, artists.